So let's get into the WSL then, and we've got to talk about the champions first of all. As I said, their fourth title despite all the competition. Emma Hayes says claiming the double, it's been a much tougher season than it perhaps could have been. Is that something you agree with?
I think it has been, and I think to win 4 consecutive, that's quality, isn't it? To be able to do it, but then to do it again each time, I think is really impressive. And this season obviously had that competition of, you know, instead of just having the 3 teams maybe in and around Arsenal and Manchester City, you've now got Manchester United in there, you've now got Aston Villa who are certainly pushing sides. The fact they lost the first game of the season, but they just have the know-how, they have the experience to be able to come back. They've obviously had injuries as well to key players, Millie Bright being one of them, Pernille Harder. So Fran Kirby's missed a large majority of the season, so they've had to cope with that. Emma Hayes obviously was out for a period of time with her illness, and her staff took control and did a very good job. So, yeah, they've got a great squad depth. They've got a real winning mentality. I think Emma Hayes still wants that Champions League, the FA Cup and the league, absolutely brilliant and fantastic achievement. But I think the Champions League, that'll certainly be something that she's still desperate to get. But
does she? Because what would have got Chelsea fans in a sort of haze of Emma Hayes of panic was the fact when she was asked...
This is the last day. Can't do with these jokes anymore.
When she was asked at the end of the game what her future would be, she was quite coy about it. She said, you don't make decisions when you're tired. I'm tired now, I need a rest. She didn't come out and say, yeah, let's go again next season. No. Do you read anything into that?
No, I don't. I think it's more just that, the fact that she is tired. She's obviously had a difficult season with being poorly and obviously then coming back, and it's been a difficult season for many different ways. The emotions of going on to obviously winning the FA Cup final, maybe not playing at the best, but still having the know-how to go and win it, to then win the league on the final day. So I think she probably just wants a little bit of family time, go home, relax, and then consider what she's going to do. But I still think Emma Hayes has got unfinished business, because I still think she wants that Champions League.
Do you think it's also a bit clever from her in the fact of, give me a new contract,
yeah,
reward me for what I've done?
Didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, I just think when you do something like that and the club realise what they've got, but what they could potentially lose as well, it's very smart from her if she does want to stay on and she wants to. And then also what it does as well is, does that enhance your ability to bring players into the club? We want to back her then. We want to give her more money to spend. If she dangles that carrot a little bit to say, well, I might go, then it might just give her a little bit more power long term.
Because obviously losing Eriksson, key member of that squad, Harder as well. So she'll want investment, she'll want to bring in players to replace them, not just on the field, but the big sort of characters, the ones that maybe have played in the Champions League. So, yeah.
But there could be a flip side of it again, where she knows she's losing them players and the board are saying, we can't replace them. And maybe she thinks, well, maybe now's the right time to step away, because the squad's going to get weaker. I might not be able to compete next year because Manchester United are getting stronger. Manchester City are going to be stronger for the better next year. Arsenal are going to have their players back. Aston Villa are investing heavily in the league. Yeah. So maybe she goes, well, actually, it's going to be a lot more competitive. Maybe the time is now to go, I've done my bit, step away as well.
Yeah, you could say it's getting harder now Pernilla's gone. But that would just be too stupid a play on words. We never do that on a Monday morning. So where would be, and trust me, Chelsea fans will not want her to go. That's for sure. But where would be the logical next step for her then?
Oh, I don't know. You think, would she manage in the WSL at another team? You think maybe going abroad? Yeah, going to see what... I know she's obviously managed in America before, so she's got experience of doing that. But, do you go and see what it's like at a different club, working? Because I think one thing with Emma, she's always trying to improve. So whether that's improving the side, whether that's improving herself, lots of, we talk about managers with their meticulous planning and looking at different ways to get the best out of her players. She's constantly doing that, wanting to evolve herself as a coach and evolve the team. So, in her coaching career, could that be something different that she wants to do? But I still think she'll stay at Chelsea. I still think she wants to win the Champions League, and I think she'll want to win the league again. She'll want to go and win the FA Cup. She's a winner, and I still think she'll stay. So I don't think they need to worry too much.
She's a trailblazer in a progressive society. Could men's football entice her?
I'm sure it could. I think it's just now what club would take the chance to give her that opportunity. Would they say, do you know what? She's the right person. She's got the right credentials. She's got the right skill set. I think she's got the right temperament as well. I don't think it'd faze her. I think when you listen to her speak, I think she's very impressive in the way she goes about things. I think it was interesting listening to her speak yesterday, where she said she knows she's upset a lot of the squad this season by not being able to play them, but they've all played the part. And she said, she said it's the hardest job to leave players out, but she's got the ability to do that, and she is quite hard in herself, isn't she, as a person? But it's one of those things. It'll happen at some point. It's just who takes that.
We have men managing women's teams, so why not?
Well, it's a risk, and I think in every managerial appointment, it's a risk, isn't it? If you're getting a manager from the Championship, if you're getting a manager from abroad, if you're getting a female manager to go and manage a men's team for the first time in England, it is going to be a risk, and it's for both parties. For the female manager going in, if it doesn't work, then what happens? Where do you go from there? And the club that does it. But you just think at some point that could potentially happen. And again, it's what level do you go in at? Because I know that Emma Hayes has been linked with, jobs in the lower leagues, and she's like, well, why should I do that? I'm managing at the top level of the women's game. Why would I? Could
you see her going in under a Pochettino?
I don't know. Again, it's a different skill set, isn't it, to be an assistant, to being a manager, but
why? She would argue, why should I?
Yeah.
She has the skill set, she has the CV, she has the knowledge. So why not?
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I just think to almost get your foot in the door without, you just said it there, it's a risk.
Yeah.
Whereas it becomes less of a risk if you go in with someone else and then you learn what the side of...
Because it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is different. And whether people say, oh, it's only a game of football, it's not. It's different. It's different attitudes, it's different environments.
Because obviously the football side is the same.
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
On the field and the training,
but
the coaching.
Off the pitch is very different, isn't it?
Dealing with male players to dealing with female players.